You know that I had told you a while ago that I was not going to talk about Candace Owens anymore. Not only about Candace, but other content creators and commentators as well. I think that our fight is against, the actual bad guys, not among us or between us. Even if some commentators can be really crazy. And I said, I'm not going to cover any of it until I saw this on my timeline today, which is impressive because I have almost everything muted, her account, her name, everything. And this somehow managed to go through the cracks of my filters because even Scott Jennings was commenting on this. Candace Owens, thanks to Nathan Livingstone, Milkbark TV for their amazing, clips of Candace Owens' show. Candace Owens is now pushing that Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. At least that's what, according to her, that's what Charlie said himself on a text. And that he had agents, just like the Matrix, all right, you had my attention, monitoring him from childhood. And that he was killed because he tried to disturb space-time continuum. No, I am not kidding. So Scott Jennings asked the question, if you heard someone muttering like this on a subway, what would you think you were dealing with? And, well, I have one word, 4 letters for this. But in all fairness, we should watch the clip. I'm going to should you watch the clip and pause it, let's say, little by little, see what is this about, and then we'll see the comments.
Why did Charlie think he was a time traveler? He said, as I showed you in earlier messages, that he was a time traveler and he had to find me.
Okay, so there was Charlie who said that he was a time traveler. I guess that was a figure of speech, a metaphor or something. Not right, because if you are an actual time traveler, first thing you do is buy Apple shares, pre Steve Jobs coming back, and number 2, buy Tesla shares. That's the 2 things that you have to do if you're a time traveler. We don't know if Charlie Kirk did any of those 2, but I'm pretty certain that he was not a time traveler. If he said that, it was a metaphor. Figure of a speech or something like that.
Is that just something people are saying to their homies in text messages?
No, because it's kind of a joke unless you take things at face value or literally. So maybe the problem is the person who assumes that it's literal or at face value. Oh, an actual time traveler. What kind of sorcery is this?
And again, not anything that I would have placed so much emphasis on back when he was saying it, but it came to fruition. Okay, I didn't pay much attention about the time travel thing, but he has actually a DeLorean at his house. The other parts, he did die young. Why did he think that him dying young was necessary in order to change things? He did die young. It is related to Turning Point USA.
Why did he think that dying young was necessary? As in, okay, one thing is that Charlie Kirk said that he was a time traveler, which should have been a joke. And the other thing is that Candace Owens is actually going with it. So Charlie knew, like, I don't know, the movie that I didn't quite understand, Tenet. And I did watch Tenet 3 times. And I watched like 7 YouTube videos trying to explain the movie. But somehow, Charlie knew that he was going to die young. And he did not do anything to prevent that. So it was some kind of message from the future, I guess. I don't know. My head hurts.
In some way or another, at the very least, we can all agree it's related to him speaking at a campus event for Turning Point USA.
Yeah, one thing that he did over and over again for years, he did many times. That was one speech in one campus of thousands that he did. Okay, that was a special significance, this one.
I'm totally occupied by this. I tell you, I read these messages and I'm going, what is this? What is reality, actually?
I mean, Candace, I can understand. I'm sure that I don't get not even a fraction of the messages that you get. I get very crazy emails. There's many crazy emails. I try to check them out, all the emails that you send, and you refer me to some YouTube videos and some forums and people saying really outrageous and crazy stuff. And I can understand that if Candace is receiving like 100 times the emails that I get, and she reads all that, the abyss is going to drive you mad at some point. You're going to go bananas. Like you're going to have a loose screw or something like that. There's another term for this. There's another term for that. You're going to be short of there's an expression to say that you are kind of nuts, that you are short of but I don't remember. If you can remind me in the comments, it would be amazing.
And Charlie died. Yes, like I said, it was related to this organization.
Again, she says that Turning Point USA has something to do with Charlie's death, assassination.
And I think we would all agree that his death and the manner that they did it changed the world in ways that I don't think we can fully realize, or certainly not in a way that I can articulate. You just cannot pretend that all of this is one big unhappy coincidence. It's entirely plausible, I think plausible, that they knew something about Charlie.
Right. Primo Genitor says that one can short of a six-pack. Is that one? I don't recall it that way. But I guess that one egg short of a dozen. A sandwich short of a picnic. But thank all of you. Karen G as well. Sandwich short of a picnic. That is the one that I've heard. A sandwich short of a picnic. Ayahuasca. No, that's not the one. An ayahuasca trip gone bad. An ayahuasca trip gone bad. Please don't do ayahuasca. Don't do meth. Public service announcement. I have to go back a bit.
You just cannot pretend that all of this is one big unhappy coincidence. It's entirely plausible, I think plausible, that they knew something about Charlie.
They knew something about Charlie. That word. She keeps using that word. Why does she keep using that word? They, everyone. A brick shy of a load. She's missing some screws. So those are the terms I'm looking for.
And that's why they had him marked and had him monitored.
They had him marked. Who had they marked and monitored?
And had him likely followed since he was young. And maybe they thought, like the agents think.
The agents were following him since he was young. How young? I don't know. A baby, perhaps? A kid? He was a special kid. I know the anointed one. I don't know. The reverse Damien. I don't know. This is the reverse Omen kid.
That if they swarmed him and they stayed with him and they pretended to be his friend, that ultimately they could control Charlie and perhaps change an outcome. They could literally change an outcome related to Charlie.
I have to say that I'm impressed that I have watched around more than a full minute of Candace Owens, and she has not mentioned the use. That is an improvement. I mean, that is an improvement. We are breaking the ceiling, the glass ceiling with this one. We are completely rewriting paradigms with this.
So when for the first time in his life, because I do believe he was managed, I mean, I've already said I was handled. I didn't recognize that I had agents.
You should have agents. You should be managed in many ways. Yeah, I was thinking about this. A reverse Damien. A bizarro Damien could be.
And for the first time in his life, Charlie peeks his head up and starts to push back in a meaningful way. They couldn't stop him from becoming bigger. That seemed to be inevitable. But they panicked. They seem to have panicked.
Who are they? I want to know, who are they? She keeps saying they. It's like a Mexican telenovela. You never go to the end. What?
Right? I mean, this is just starting to happen within a year. When Charlie's going like, hey, man, I don't actually think this. I don't actually believe this. And then he goes, you know what? Take the money. Take the money out of the organization. And they panicked. They freaked out. And their solution was, no, just kill him. Just kill him. We can't have this.
All right, so this is, again, I can understand. Once again, this is the clip that I'm gonna show. I'm gonna show you some reactions. The reactions and the comments are just poetry. I tried to Gator Gar. Big shout out to Gator Gar, one of my favorite follows on X. I tried so hard to help people understand how crazy this lady is. Is they in the room with us right now? Oh no, it's like at some point Candace is gonna be the protagonist of those videos. This channel, what is this channel called? It does this very long analysis of interrogations. Is that crime psychology? I think this is called. Peter B, there's no way this is real. I also thought, that with so much AI, I need to double verify, but Milk Bar TV, he always goes for the source. He doesn't put, there are accounts that they share memes, AI stuff. No, this guy makes sure to post only real videos. So yeah, it was real. And Holaria Bryden, which is a parody account. Do you have proof that Charlie Kirk was not a time traveler? And Nathan says, of course, I dreamed it. There's other videos here. I had, let me see. I can show you. There's other videos in this thread on Nathan show. My favorite thing about Candace shows is that you can tell what movies have made an impression on her. The Matrix above, Inception here. I'm not playing this. You can go to Nathan's the Milk Bar TV on X and watch all these clips. This, of course, connects to Candace's theory that there are human sentinel hybrids. Again, not kidding. Not gonna play that. I value my sanity. If I want to read science fiction, I would grab a book. I have a ton of science fiction books that I haven't read. That is much more interesting than this. A compilation of the many times Charlie Kirk spoke over the years about what he saw as the rising threat of violence from the left, etc. Candace Owens says, this is something that I thought doing at some point. An analysis of that interview from Piers Morgan of Candace Owens. But at the same time, I don't like Candace Owens and I don't like Piers Morgan. And I basically have muted both of them because both of them are just grifters, okay? I wanted to give Candace the benefit of the doubt around October. You know that in my videos. I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, but by this point, no, this is way too much. And it is, I'm going to say that. It is embarrassing going on Piers Morgan and being mugged by Piers Morgan. That is pathetic. That is pathetic. And Nathan also has a video about all the ways Megyn Kelly has been on the wrong side of this. I mean, Megyn has all the right to say whatever she wants, but it is a bit, gives you the ick how she is destroying her credibility so many times. Because it's not once. It can be once. It can be 2 times. But 5 or 6 times? No, that is way too much.